What the heck is poopin' H2Os and roller bros alike? I'm your guide Q. Welcome back to 21 Things Girls Don't Realize, and we looked at 10 of these in the last video. If you want to check that out, a card is going to pop up in the top right of your screen, but we've got 11 facts to go over today, and I'm sorry for my audio levels in the previous videos. I was trying to reduce pop and make things a little bit more pleasant to listen to, but apparently they were too quiet for some people, so hopefully this video doesn't blow out your ears, but let's get into the facts. But just to give some background, this is a video from 2009, most likely created by a teenager for other teenagers, so just wanted to give my opinion on these posts if I disagree with them or agree with them, and kind of give a counter-argument to the opinions of this 13-year-old. Number 11. If a guy looks unusually calm and laid back, he's probably faking it, and he is really thinking about something. Really. This one is very complicated because it requires being able to read people very well, which is a skill that I think a lot of people don't have. I sure don't have it, but some people might. But still, I feel like what defines unusually calm exactly, unless you can really tell that the person is faking it, I wouldn't read into it too much because you could end up assuming the wrong thing. Number 12. When a guy says that he is going crazy about the girl, he really is. Guys rarely say that, believe me. This one I don't really have a problem with. I mean, you should be able to trust somebody if they're saying oh, I'm going crazy over this girl. They probably do mean it, unless you know that person to be a liar, or somebody could be using this as a manipulation tactic to use you for something. That could be the scenario. But unless you know the person to be a liar or you have some reason to be skeptical, I think you can go ahead and trust this. Number 13. When a guy asks you to leave him alone, he's really just actually saying, please come and listen to me. I think this fact is the most egregious error in this video, and I think that it comes a lot from a place of projection. Somebody in the comments to my previous video said that this girl was projecting, and I totally agree with that. I think that she might be projecting her own thoughts and feelings onto guys, and yes, the thoughts and feelings of guys might be more similar to girls than a lot of people think, but in this case, I mean, some of the time, maybe if a person asks you to leave them alone, they really want you to pry further and take care of them and see what's going on. But a lot of the time, they just want you to leave them alone and not talk to them. And this is extreme nice girl behavior. And this fact is actually the reason I decided to name this video Nice Girls in Training. Forgive me because right now we're caught in the middle of an awkward 2009 movie maker transition, but here we go with the next fact. If a guy starts to talk seriously, listen to him. It doesn't happen that often, so when it does, you know something's up. Now, it's going to vary from time to time how often certain guys talk seriously about things, and you should listen to people in general when they talk seriously. So I think this is a good piece of advice. Some people can doomsday all the time and be like, my life is ruined, everything's horrible, I got a D on my test, sometimes it's going to be not so serious, but in general, you should listen to people when they talk seriously. Number 15. When a guy looks at you for longer than a second, he's definitely thinking something. This one is not always true, and I'll just give you a small example. When I was in middle school, I had a crush on a girl, and one time she stared at me for 30 seconds straight, and it turns out she just spaced out a lot, and her eyes happened to fall on me when she was spacing out. So don't always trust this, but if a guy looks at you for longer than a second, and it's intentional, he is definitely thinking something, but it might not be, oh man, she's cute, oh man, I have a crush on her. I've stared at people for a little while, or more than a second, because I found their unattractiveness interesting, or their aesthetic interesting, or something like that. I was just fascinated with whatever was going on with their visual appearance, as bad as that sounds, but it doesn't always mean that they're interested in you. It just means that they might be thinking something. Also, and I just wanted to establish, and I didn't say this at the beginning of the video, but a lot of these facts can apply to guys or girls, especially since this girl is projecting her own thoughts and feelings onto guys. This can apply to anybody you could possibly be interested in. Number 16. Guys really think that girls are strange and have unpredictable decisions and are mad confusing, but somehow are drawn even more to them. Once again, this applies to both guys or girls, and we don't know what's going on in other people's heads, and if we did, things would be a lot easier and simpler and probably more boring. I feel like we find it hard to understand the people that we're interested in, and some of that mystery does make them more attractive to us, so this is kind of a good point. Number 17. A guy would give the world to be able to read a girl's mind for a day. Now, this is true. I mean, I remember when I was a young person, I wish that I could, understand what was going on in the girl that I was crushing on's mind, figure out what she thought of me and, if she liked me or, whatever. But I feel like if we were actually able to read another person's mind, we'd most likely get very overwhelmed and possibly disturbed really quickly. Number 18. No guy can handle all of his problems on his own. He's just too stubborn to admit it. I think this is a really good point about a lot of people. A lot of people just isolate themselves and think oh, these are my problems. I should just handle them on my own. I don't need to bring other people into it. But you can handle everything on your own, and you should reach out to other people. Number 18 is a very good point. Good job. Number 19. Not all guys are rude. Just because one is rude doesn't mean he represents all of them. All right, this statement definitely redeems the author of this post from her nice girl status. I mean, I think this is great advice for anybody, guys, girls. This is one of the biggest problems of nice girls and nice guys. I think all girls are the same, all guys are the same. They're just not. That's just not how humans work. Number 20. When a guy sacrifices his sleep and health just to talk to you, he really likes you and wants to be with you as much as possible. This one hits a little bit close to home because I've actually been staying up late a lot recently talking to my girlfriend, but I've been trying to adjust and get more proper sleep, get a good sleep schedule going. I'm always trying to get 6 to 8 hours because in general, yes, when a guy sacrifices his sleep and health, he's definitely into you, but no person should have to sacrifice their sleep and more importantly, their health just to spend time with you. I mean, by definition, it is unhealthy. 21. Even if you dump a guy months ago and he loved you, he probably still does, and if he had one wish, it would be for you to come back into his life. Which is unbelievably true. ... This one is very inconsistent. I mean, if you dump a guy and he did love you, he might still want you to come back in his life. He still might have feelings, but it's not always the case, and you really shouldn't be hoping that somebody that you dumped is still fixated on you months later. You should hope either you don't like them and you don't really care about how they feel about anything, or you do still care about them and you want them to move on with their life and get better. You shouldn't hope that somebody's still fixated on you. So be sure to let me know your opinion on any of those facts that we went over. If you disagreed with what they said, if you disagreed with what I said, I'd love to hear what you have to say. This person, the story of their YouTube channel is really interesting because they've only posted 4 videos, but they got 13,000 subscribers, millions of views across these videos, and they just walked away from it, which I always find really interesting. But they do have this video, 21 Things Most Guys Don't Realize. So if you're interested in the continuation of this series, you could ask me to do that, and I'd definitely be interested in checking that out in the future. So let me know what you thought about all of these things, and I will see you very soon. My Amazon affiliate links for all of my equipment will be in the description down below. Skate on to the best of your abilities. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Make sure you're drinking more water, and I will see you very soon.